Alright, so this is not one of those usual video reflection videos. It's more like a thought sharing video that I do once in a while. And the thought that I want to share about is my impression after listening to one of the speeches, college application essays, I'm sorry. One of the college application essays of the graduate. The essay was basically about him talking to a barber and learning from that experience. So I'll give a short summary of the essay. So the graduate or the writer went to a barber shop or a hair shop, and he met a barber who let me start over. Okay, so he prefaces everything by saying that he's normally uncomfortable in hair shops because most barbers tend to ask questions and make small chat, right? While they're cutting the client's hair. And since our school is known in Korea decently well as a privileged school, the barbers always ask, "Which school do you come from?" And the student would always answer, "Oh, I come from this school," and they would all be surprised and say, "Oh, you must be smart," and whatnot. But then one day he met a barber who was not like the rest, and he reacted by saying, "Well, I don't really know how to react or what to tell you because all the other kids that I've met are delinquents. And they've all led such different lives than your privileged life that I don't really know what advice I can give you." And they make some small chat, and the student learns that the barber is actually from a, how would you say, a bit of an impoverished background, and that he has successfully helped a lot of delinquents that cut hair at his shop by giving them sound advice and for empathizing with them. So that was the story. And in the essay, he writes that from that experience, he learned that there is a certain obligation for people who are privileged to go to good schools and get high academic education to contribute their skills and talents to those in need or to those who didn't get the chance. He also says that he learned that most things in life is luck, and just because you've done something excellent, or just because you've achieved academic excellence, doesn't mean that's entirely your own doing. It's mostly luck, and it's partially due to your efforts. The barber, he mentions that the barber always says, quote, "Most of the delinquents I meet, from the barber's perspective, aren't kids who are bad from the start. Rather, it's their surroundings and their environment that changed them." And that got me thinking a bit, because I like to say that my major is environmental science, but as you know, or hopefully you know, if you're someone who knows a bit about environmental science is an unimaginably large field. There is so much to environmental science. You have ecology, you have animal behavior, you have biology, you have psychology and how people react to environmental changes. You have pollution, climate change, global warming. You have urban degradation, homelessness, air pollution, indoor air pollution, urban trafficking. Everything and anything that contributes to our surroundings is considered environmental science. My environmental science teacher jokingly always says, "Okay, let's say this is you. Everything around you is environmental science. Physics, environmental science. Chemistry, environmental science." And I think I understand what he means. But after reading that essay that the graduate student wrote, it actually got me thinking, because when someone asks me what my story is, I always answer by saying them, I want to make the world a better place for people to live in. And I also add, because that's really general, right? I also say, I want to improve the living conditions of people who don't have access to technology that we do. I think technology is something that should be relinquished among everybody who's living on this earth. And I think that rather than studying new technologies and making advancements, those are great too, but I think we should focus more on how to use and infuse those learned and excavated technologies into our own daily lives, especially for those in developing nations, or those who have disabilities, or those who are homeless, basically for people who are living in worse conditions. And I always say that that's my theme, and that's my sort of mode of life, if you will. And after reading this speech, I think I keep saying this, I'm sorry, I don't really have a script for this, so keep that in mind. But I think I agree with the barber's perspective of the environment and the society that those delinquents lived in have inevitably made them delinquents. I think I've been focusing my activities on mostly problems that are not owed to the environment itself, but rather to a okay, let me start that sentence over. I think most of the problems that I've been focusing on are problems that are already there, and I'm trying to find ways to alleviate pain or suffering that are caused by those problems. For example, homelessness. I'm not looking for a cure to homelessness, or I'm not looking for a solution to how to stop homelessness from happening. I'm simply making simple solutions and simple inventions that can help those who are already homeless, right? But when you think about it, it's a smarter idea to try to stop homelessness from happening rather than trying to mend the wounds that it has already caused. Another example is, we never really think about how technology that can stop people from being involved in accidents that cripple or disable them. Most technologies that we call universal technologies are, well, that's because of the definition, but most technologies that we consider to be helpful to disable people are technologies that help people, those who already have disabilities. So I think I should also start looking in the direction of trying to find ways to improve the environment or living conditions so that it helps the problem from happening or existing in the first place. Rather than trying to find ways and remediations and solutions to how to fix those problems afterwards, I think it would be a wiser and smarter idea to find ways to prevent those problems. So yes, that was sort of my reflection on the essay that I read today. And yeah, so I still think I need to organize my thoughts a bit more, but yes, I think this is an interesting reap from class today. Anyway, bye-bye, and I'll be filming another video reflection later today.